Hi folks, at one point in my life, I actually got to play cowboy. Yeah, I got to deal with horses and work with them and train them. Got to do a little roping. Got to play cowboy. But unlike those cowboys in Yellowstone like Rip and all, I never got my ass branded. I would beat somebody's ass if they attempted it. But branding goes back a long time when it comes to human beings. It goes back to our colonial justice system. Now, to begin with, our colonial justice system, they wanted to create what I call a colonial rap sheet. In other words, they want to identify prisoners as criminals. People in the street would be able to recognize them. So the first thing they did was when they put them in that pillory device, well, they tacked their ears back. They nailed them to the board. That way you wouldn't squat down while you were in there standing there. And that's called pinning your ears back, if you've ever heard that phrase. That's where it comes from. Gave you incentive not to squat down. Also, when they opened that thing up, they didn't take the nails out, so it just shredded your ears. But besides doing that, while you're there in that pillory device, you're going to be sentenced to cropping. What is cropping besides walking past somebody and farting in their face? That's not that type of cropping. Cropping, that's crop dusting, actually. Cropping is when you're standing there in that pillory, they're going to sentence you to have somebody come by and take a chunk out of your ear, or cut your earlobe off, or cut the end of your nose off, or cut a chunk out of your nose. So now you're marked. When you go back out in the streets, people will know that you're a criminal, a convicted criminal. But now, we want to know what people are charged with. So, branding. Yes, we branded you with the first letter of the crime that you committed. T for theft, or M for manslaughter, or in some cases, W for witchcraft. You would be branded, and that way, when you're going down the street, that brand would be on your face or would be in the palm of your right hand, and people would recognize you as a criminal. There are things that we do in society that goes back to branding in colonial days, and we don't even realize why we do it. Heard of a gentleman's handshake on a business deal? You know why we shake people's hands on a business deal? Because they're looking for that letter T for theft in the palm of somebody's hand. Yeah, T for thievery. That's why we shake hands on business deals. If in colonial days you saw that letter T, you didn't do business with that asshole. Also, another thing that we do nowadays that most people don't realize goes back to that colonial branding is when we go to testify in court. What's the first thing that happens? Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Why do we do that? Because the judge is looking for a brand in the palm of your hand. And the main one he's looking for is the letter P for perjury, to see if you've ever lied in court. And then he throws your behind out. So, branding. Even today, we have a throwback to colonial justice and branding, which was colonial justice's form of a rap sheet.